Hi friends, today we are going to be making our warm and cool colored sunsets. First we're going to start with your white piece of paper, holding it this way, not the tall way. You also need a pencil. I'm going to make two different videos, one using watercolors, one using just crayons, so we can use what you have. You need a blue, green, and purple, either crayon or oil pastel. I'm going to be using a combination of both, and a white crayon as well, or white oil pastel, whatever you have. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it hot dog style, making sure that the corners line up. And then folding it down. Then I'm going to open it back up. Okay? So the top part is going to be my sky. The bottom part is going to be my water. Now when I draw my sun, I'm going to have half of my sun above the water and half of it below the water here. So I'm going to make a circle right in the middle. And then when I use my cool colors, I'm going to make sure that I keep it below this line. This is just kind of here. We're not going to trace a line. It's just here for us to kind of see visually to help us split the paper into two. So I'm going to start with my pencil by drawing my sun. So I'm going to do half of my sun above the line. Okay, so I did a half circle, and then half of my sun below the line. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a white crayon or white oil pastel and I'm going to color it in. Now because we're coloring white on white paper, it's a little hard to see, so you want to make sure that you're really thorough, pressing nice and hard, especially if you're using a white crayon. This is going to be kind of our resist when we are coloring or painting, so that it keeps our sun nice and white. Alright. That's why I use that pencil to make the sun, just so I can see where the outline is of the sun. Alright, now that I have my sun colored in, I'm going to take my cool colors. Now, again, I'm going to use a combination of crayons and oil pastels. If you're at home and you just have crayons, just use crayons. That's fine. They work just as well. You just want to make sure that you press nice and hard. I'm going to start with my crayons. I am going to go below my line, my fold line, and I'm just going to draw some wavy lines. So I'm going to start with my purple. Just some wavy lines here and there. It's okay if you go kind of above the line too. It doesn't have to be perfectly below. I'm going to do a little bit of green. I don't want to do too much green or purple. I want my water to be the majority of my water to be blue. But I am going to add some of those other cool colors. Now I'm going to go in with my oil pastels. Oil pastels are going to be a little bit thicker and darker. But again, if you're using crayons, just press a little bit harder. And I'm going to make sure I add, again, if you want to do kind of more of a wave line instead of a wavy line, kind of the one that goes boop, 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 you can do that too. I want to make sure that I'm not coloring in the entire paper. I want to make sure that some of the white space still shows. Because when the white space shows and we use our watercolors or our crayons, depending on what you're using with the warm colors, we're going to color some in the water too. Do you know why we're going to do that? We talked about this in our lesson. But the reason why is when we use our warm colors in the sky, we're also going to use it in the water because the sky creates a reflection on the water. And so we're going to see some of those warm colors kind of reflecting on the water. So I'm really kind of using my oil pastels, filling in the space but still leaving some white space so that we are ready for our warm colors. Okay, so I'm not just taking it and coloring it like that. I really want to see those wavy lines, and they can kind of overlap on top of each other to look like that water is moving. And again, you can definitely go above this line too. It doesn't have to be perfectly on that line, but it's just there kind of for us to see visually where our sky is going to start. So we make sure we leave some of that room on there. All right, now that we've used our cool colors, blue, green, and purple, now we're going to use our warm colors, red, orange, and yellow for the sky.